After a string of bad luck with the electric BZ4X, as well as reliability issues plaguing their established models, Koji Sato decided that enough was enough. Toyota is going back to its roots, abolishing EVs and focusing much more on what the common man wants. As a result, we could expect an appearance of new models as well as a resurgence of old nameplates that we've been anticipating for years. So let's not waste any more time and check out what's in store for us as Toyota CEO announces 5 new Toyota models for 2025 and wows everybody. Number 5. Toyota RAV4. Don't get us wrong, we love the current gen Toyota RAV4. However, it is starting to show its wrinkles more and more with every coming day. This is both because, well, it's a 6-year-old car, as well as the fact that it very much sticks out like a sore thumb from Toyota's current lineup. As a result, the Toyota RAV4 will now have a revised design from the outside, and it will now much more closely resemble the new Toyota Land Cruiser, just smaller. You see, Toyota has recognized that the market for retro SUVs is extremely hot at the moment, and they'll want to cash in on the hype, especially since the new Land Cruiser was so well received in terms of styling. As a result, you should expect a robust, sharp design that's an amalgamation of throwbacks to the Toyota SUVs of old, while also being very contemporary in terms of technology too. But these changes won't just be surface level, as the RAV4 will also be more capable off-road, now being a much more direct threat to the likes of the Ford Bronco Sport and the Subaru Forester. The interior of the Toyota RAV4 will also be revised quite a bit, and now it'll have a more angular and robust design to fit its chunky exterior. You can expect robust materials, tactile and easy-to-access controls, and a general focus on utility and ergonomics above all else. The 12.3-inch infotainment screen found in Toyota's larger vehicles is also set to appear with the RAV4, albeit it'll be reserved only for the top-of-the-line models. When it comes down to the powertrains, the RAV4 is expected to be similar to the current generation, meaning that the 2.5-liter inline-4 will still be its main powertrain. It will get a small power boost though, some odd 10 horsepower. However, we expect it to also come with a 2-liter engine, which is said to be more economical than the 2.5 at the cost of some performance. Additionally, the 2.0 hybrid drivetrain from the Prius will probably replace the 2.5 hybrid for all but the RAV4 Prime models, further lowering emissions and increasing MPG. However, what's even more interesting about the RAV4 is that with its inception, we'll be seeing the release of an all-new yet long-anticipated model. Number 4. Toyota Stout. That's right, 4 years after the Maverick's inception, we'll finally see the appearance of its Toyota rival, the long-awaited Toyota Stout. The Stout will, just like the Maverick, be based on a compact SUV, which is the new RAV4 in this case. However, unlike the Maverick, which is completely different from the Ford Escape aesthetically both inside and out, the Stout will retain most of its styling cues from the RAV4. And since the RAV4 will be very rugged and very beefy in itself, the fact that there won't be any significant changes with the Stout makes perfect sense, as it'll be a much more interesting car to look at compared to the Maverick. The interior is also expected to be more or less the same as the RAV4, with the only difference being the quality, as it'll most probably be made out of hard plastic to lower the cost, just like the Ford Maverick. Ironically enough, despite looking more exclusive and exotic, the Stout will be cheaper because the production line for the entire front end and the majority of the interior will be the same as the RAV4, lowering production costs. But most importantly, unlike the Maverick, the Stout will come with all-wheel drive as standard for both the hybrid and non-hybrid versions, meaning that you can expect much better traction and better off-road performance. Additionally, the higher ground clearance inherited from the RAV4 will only further increase the off-road ability of the Stout, and while we expect the truck bed to be a little bit smaller than the Maverick, this will hardly be a deal breaker, especially since the Toyota Stout is expected to be at least a couple of grand cheaper than the Maverick. Number 3. Toyota Supra. With the discontinuation of the BMW Z4, which is the car that the Toyota Supra is based on, many Supra fans have been left worried about the legendary sports car's future. However, worry not, as even though the Z4 is going into history, the Toyota Supra will remain alive and well. You see, the next generation of the Toyota Supra, which is expected to hit the market either in 2025 or 2026, will share its platform with the BMW G82 4 Series, meaning that we'll see the return of the venerable inline 6. However, unlike the current generation, which uses the legendary but still fairly outdated B58 engine, the new Supra will utilize a much more powerful S58 inline 6. This, coupled with the fact that it'll grow in size and weight compared to the outgoing model, means that the Supra will be a much more faithful successor to the legendary Mark IV Supra, adored by many since its appearance in the first Fast and the Furious movie. Now, sure, this also means that the Supra won't be as tossable as the current iteration. However, we'd much rather trade a bit of driving dynamics for added power, comfort, and practicality. Number 2. Toyota Celica. However, if you're a fan of smaller, cheaper, and more youthful sports cars, worry not. As of 2025, we'll see the return of the venerable Toyota Celica. The Celica nameplate, which has been retired for nigh on 20 years, will be revived, and it'll now be stronger than ever. The Celica will be based on the current generation of the Toyota Corolla. However, most of the engine palette will be gone. This is because the Celica will be much more driver-oriented than its previous generations, with its focus being offering a cheap yet practical and daily drivable car for young petrol heads. Essentially, a less nauseating Toyota GR86, if you will. As a result, you'll see the appearance of the 2.0 naturally aspirated inline-4 currently present in the Corolla Apex, pushing out some odd 170 horsepower, which will be its base engine. This engine will also be offered with a bit more HP for the better spec models, and we expect it to cap out at 190 horsepower. The next engine will be a turbocharged 2.0 4-cylinder, which is found in a range of Lexus products, and is expected to push out from 230 to 250 horsepower, making it ideal for those of us who enjoy a bit of oomph and torque with their cars. However, the piece de resistance will be the GR version of the Celica, which will come with all-wheel drive as standard, alongside the 300 horsepower version of the 1.6-liter Turbo 3 found in the GR Corolla. All in all, an interesting return of a legendary model. Number 1. Toyota FJ Cruiser. We've saved the best for last, though. We've already mentioned that the age of retro SUVs is at its pinnacle, and Toyota is willing to exploit this more than any other brand. After all, no brand has as much international off-road presence as Toyota does. As a result, Toyota has decided to revive an already beloved nameplate, which is the FJ Cruiser. You see, even though the new Land Cruiser is a fantastic off-roader and a great car, many people, most of which are from the US, have been taken aback by its Spartan interior and exterior, as well as its relatively harsh ride. As a result, Toyota has decided to make a more on-road friendly version of the Land Cruiser with a tad softer suspension, better structural rigidity, and a general orientation towards comfort instead of off-roading. Don't worry though, as the FJ Cruiser will still be a very good off-roader. In terms of design, the new FJ Cruiser will be very similar to the old model visually, and the only thing that we can expect to change noticeably will be the front fascia and the rear end. However, even they will retain the styling cues of the legendary FJ40 Land Cruiser. When it comes down to the interior, it'll be somewhere in between the Land Cruiser and the Toyota Sequoia, adding a bit of Sequoia's comfort features and a more eye-pleasing dash design, while also retaining the ruggedness and the rigidity of the Land Cruiser. All in all, the new FJ Cruiser will be the perfect response to the Ford Bronco and the Jeep Wrangler, and Toyota's new lineup of models will surely allow it to return back to its former glory. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.